Welcome to Are You Stuck in Fight or Flight? Beyond Survival, Fight or Flight in Chronic Disease, written by Dr. Michael A.Housman and read to you by Scotty Quaz. Now, a special message from Dr. Hausman.
Welcome to Are You Stuck in Fight or Flight? This is Dr. Michael Hausman. Thank you for choosing this audiobook. I appreciate your interest, and I am excited to embark with you on this journey. This audiobook is the result of over 4 decades practicing as a chiropractor and chiropractic acupuncturist, focusing on holistic health and the profound impacts of stress on the body and mind. Throughout my career, I have witnessed firsthand how the fight or flight response, while a natural part of our human physiology, can become a chronic state that affects our health, happiness, and overall quality of life. In this audiobook, I'll guide you through understanding the fight or flight response, recognizing if you're stuck in this mode, and providing practical strategies to help you recalibrate your stress response. My goal is to help you achieve a balanced, healthier state of being. So sit back, relax, and let's begin our journey to understanding and overcoming the challenges of being stuck in fight or flight.
About the author. Michael A. Housman, D.C., is a chiropractor and chiropractic acupuncturist that has been in practice for over 45 years. He currently lives on the coast in Maine and continues to practice holistic health for his patients and community at Oceanside Chiropractic Office. He hosts the podcast Healthy Self and is the creator of ChiroBase, a chiropractic EHR database system, as well as the author of books on longevity, artificial intelligence, and applied kinesiology. You can email him at cbase0683@gmail.com or visit the website oceansidechiropracticoffice.com. Chapter 1. Are you stuck in fight or flight? Understanding your body's response. I have witnessed the following scenario in my practice time and time again over many years. In front of me is a patient who has complaints of not being able to sleep at night, feeling anxious and overwhelmed, lightheaded, easily startled, and generally stressed out. Usually the adrenals are exhausted, the blood pressure is elevated, and they feel like their world is falling apart. They may be suffering from a chronic disease, such as heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, depression, or eating disorders. They feel like their stress level is on a constant screech, and they have difficulty coping with the myriad of daily challenges. This book is about fight or flight response that is endemic in our society and contributes to many chronic diseases that people experience today. The first chapter lays the groundwork for understanding what fight or flight is and how it functions in our body as a protective mechanism. Understanding your body's response to stress is a vital step in reclaiming control and power over your health and well-being. The fight or flight response is an automatic physiological reaction to perceived threats, designed to prepare the body to either confront or flee from danger. However, in today's world, this response can be triggered by stressors that are not life-threatening, such as work pressure, financial worries, relationship issues, or mental overactivity and negativity. Recognizing this automatic response is the first step toward managing it effectively and reducing its impact on your health. Being stuck in the fight or flight reaction over time has a debilitating and lasting effect on your health and well-being. This book is about understanding the mechanism of fight or flight and ways to restore balance and health in your life. When fight or flight becomes a way of life, it takes a toll on our health, our energy, and our sense of peace. I've seen it in myself, and I've seen it in the patients I've worked with over the years. The good news is, you don't have to live this way. Once you understand how your nervous system works, you can take back control. You can retrain your body and mind, break the cycle of chronic stress, and step into a state of true balance and well-being. This book is about that journey, understanding the fight or flight response and learning how to shift out of it. It's about giving you the tools to heal, to reclaim your energy, and to create a life where stress doesn't run the show. The science behind the fight or flight response reveals a complex interplay of hormones and bodily functions. When faced with a stressor, the brain signals the adrenal glands to release adrenaline and cortisol, which leads to increased heart rate, heightened alertness, and a surge of energy. Now, while these reactions can be beneficial in short bursts, prolonged exposure to stress and your body's reaction to it leads to chronic activation of this response, which can contribute to a host of health issues, including anxiety, depression, and chronic illnesses. Understanding these biological processes equips you with the knowledge to identify when your body is in distress and empowers you to take action. This is exactly what this book is all about. An action with a feeling produces a result. Dr. James Parker. Once fight or flight has been established in the chronic state, the triggers need not be extreme. It can be something as inconsequential as running late for an appointment or someone coming up from behind and startling you that can produce a significant reaction. I call this the hair trigger response. Signs you may be stuck in fight or flight. Feeling stuck can show up in many ways, and it often leaves people wondering why they can't move forward. A common sign of this is a constant feeling of anxiety that overshadows everyday life. It's like a feeling of doom is lurking in the background all of the time. When you're frequently in a fight or flight mode, it can make you feel overly alert and on edge. This constant state of high alert, or what I call hypervigilance, can be draining and make it hard to relax and make positive changes. Recognizing these feelings and understanding where they come from can be an important step in dealing with them. This prolonged state of readiness prevents you from engaging with the world around you, effectively making it challenging to find joy or concentrate in the activities that you once loved. Being on alert all the time additionally has a depleting effect on your energy reserves, leading to fatigue and exhaustion. We call this state of readiness hypervigilance. Muscle tension. When a person is preparing to react to an emergency situation, the muscles tighten in response to increased blood flow and energy flowing through the nervous system to get ready to run or fight. This is a normal response to a critical situation, but if this increase in muscle tone is maintained over a long period of time, well, the overall baseline of muscle contraction in the body is raised, and the individual becomes locked in a state of chronic tension. With the body always in a state of readiness to run away or fight, chronic fight or flight syndrome creates a high state of muscle contraction in the body. The muscles of the shoulders contract to protect the neck, the legs tighten to prepare to run, and the blood is shuttled from the digestive tract to the muscular system. When this continues on an ongoing level, it can lead to muscle pain, vertebral misalignments, and pinched nerves. Physical symptoms. Another indicator that you might be trapped in this cycle is the presence of various physical symptoms: chronic tension, headaches, fatigue, gastrointestinal issues can all be signs that your body is responding to a stress in a maladaptive way. These physical manifestations can serve as reminders that your mind and body are not in harmony. When the fight or flight response is activated too often, it can lead to a series of health challenges that reinforce the feeling of being stuck, creating a vicious cycle that's difficult to break, which often leads to addictive behaviors with foods, drugs, or alcohol to find some relief. Emotional changes. Emotional numbness or detachment is also a common sign of being stuck in a fight or flight response. You may find it hard to connect with others or feel emotionally drained after social interactions, leading to a sense of isolation. This emotional disconnection can result from a protective mechanism that your body employs to shield you from the perceived threats or the possibility of more challenging situations. Recognizing this pattern is the first step toward regaining emotional balance and understanding that it's possible to reconnect with your feelings and those around you. Another result of being in constant fight or flight is irritability. With your plate already feeling full, additional pressure often translates into impatience and the tendency to snap easily at others. Relationships. When you feel emotionally stuck, the state of your relationships often reflects that stagnation. If you're noticing more frequent arguments or if communication has grown difficult, these might be signs that you're often in a fight or flight mode. This stress can cloud your interactions, leading to misunderstandings and gradually pushing you apart from those you care about. It's important to recognize these patterns as they can guide you towards understanding the roots of your stress. By acknowledging and addressing these challenges head on, you can begin the process of healing and reconnecting, ultimately helping you move past those feelings of being stuck. Motivation and energy. A lack of motivation or a sense of hopelessness can signal that you're trapped in a fight or flight cycle. When you feel as though you are merely surviving rather than thriving, it's vital to take a step back and assess your situation. Understanding the triggers that lead to this state can empower you to implement strategies for managing stress and anxiety. Negative thought patterns. Another aspect often overlooked in fight or flight on a chronic basis is the tendency to focus on what I would call negative thought forms. These often arise out of the feeling of helplessness and hopelessness that there is no way out of the situation that you find yourself in. As a result, there is a spiraling effect of negativity that tends to attract more stressful situations that heighten the sense that something bad is going to happen. Breaking this cycle, though not always an easy process, is important to allow the body and self to settle into a more relaxed, hopeful state. Later in this book, there will be visualization exercises to help break out of these unhealthy patterns. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Dr. Wayne Dyer. The cost of chronic stress. Chronic stress can profoundly impact our lives, often creeping in unnoticed and manifesting in various physical and emotional symptoms. When the body remains in a state of heightened alertness, a condition stemming from the fight or flight response, it can lead to a cascade of health issues. This ongoing stress affects not only our mental well-being, but also our physical health, making it essential to recognize and address the symptoms associated with chronic stress. Understanding these implications can empower individuals to take steps towards better health and resilience. The rule of thumb is a thought plus a feeling with an action produces a result. So, taking steps in the right direction with an emotion associated with it will help move you along in a more balanced way. The physiological effects of chronic stress are significant. Prolonged exposure to stress hormones like cortisol can lead to serious health complications, including heart disease, diabetes, and autoimmune disorders. The Center for Disease Control, or CDC, and Prevention in the U.S. estimates that stress accounts for about 75% of all doctor visits, costing roughly $125 to $190 billion a year. These conditions arise from the body's constant state of readiness, which disrupts normal functions and then can lead to inflammation and other detrimental processes. By acknowledging the toll that persistent stress takes on our bodies, we can begin to prioritize stress management to mitigate these risks and foster a healthier lifestyle. Mental health is equally impacted by chronic stress. Anxiety, depression, cognitive decline, and PTSD can all be exacerbated by an unrelenting fight or flight response. Individuals may find themselves trapped in a cycle of worry, unable to focus or enjoy the present moment. Recognizing this connection between stress and mental health is crucial, as it can lead to the development of effective coping strategies. Implementing mindfulness practices such as meditation, deep breathing, positive visualization, and deep relaxation can help individuals break free from this cycle and regain control over their thoughts and emotions. Moreover, chronic stress can strain relationships, creating a ripple effect that extends beyond the individual. When someone is stuck in a fight-or-flight mode, it can lead to irritability, withdrawal, or a lack of emotional availability. This behavior may alienate loved ones and create misunderstandings, further compounding stress. Open communication and the willingness to seek support are vital in navigating these challenges. By fostering understanding and connection, individuals can work towards rebuilding and strengthening their relationships. Lastly, it's important to remember that the effects of chronic stress are not insurmountable. By integrating nutrition, exercise, and resilience-building techniques into daily routines, individuals can counteract the negative impacts of stress. Building resilience through these practices empowers individuals to take charge of their health, paving the way for a balanced, fulfilling life. Embracing these strategies can ultimately transform the experience of chronic stress into an opportunity for growth and healing. This book is a hopeful antidote for dealing with stress and working towards balancing its effects so we can have a long and productive life. With the information in this book and your application of some of the action steps outlined forward, you can break old habits and move on to a state of balanced, optimum health. Now, all right, stick with me here. I know we're about to get into some deep science with brain chemistry and physiology, but this is important stuff. Understanding how your body handles stress isn't just about knowledge. It's about giving yourself the tools to take control and regulate your fight-or-flight response more effectively. So, if things start feeling a little overwhelming, just hit pause, stretch, take a deep breath, maybe even step outside for a moment. Then, come back when you're ready. The more you understand this, the easier it'll be to work with your body instead of feeling like it's working against you. Here's a summary of this chapter, and then let's dive in some more. Summary. Number 1, fight or flight is a response to stress that comes in a variety of forms, ranging from physical stress to emotional. 2, simply being aware of your stress patterns and behaviors are the first steps to overcoming the cycle of fight or flight response. 3, there are action steps that you can take to balance your mind and your body. Action steps. Number 1, start a life balance journal and begin writing down the stressful areas in your life. 2, write down at least 10 areas that you find challenging, such as situations that bring on a stress response. Example, when I'm feeling rushed, I go into an emergency state. 3, next to each stressor, rate it from a level of 1 to 10, with 1 being slightly stressful and 10 being extremely stressful. And 4, for now, just take note to bring the stressors to an awareness level. Knowledge is power. Francis Bacon.